Hey everyone, it's Mace Dagger. As you can kind of see here, I actually have three different three different DS flashcards. Now, some people might be wondering, why in the world would I buy three different flashcards? Well, this one was from a long time ago. It was actually the second flashcard I ever bought. The first one, I gave it away from one of my former friends. And I bought this one to replace that one because this one for sure the 3DS. And then of course the Gateway Blue card came with the Gateway Red card, so that way it can run an exploit. And then there's of course this one right here, the new one of the bunch, which is the R4i Gold card, which actually can run on the modern 3DSs. So again, why do I have three of them? Well, I mostly did buy the gold card as a Christmas gift for my brother. That's why there's a whole bunch of Christmas decorations on this R4 card. But the thing is, I decided to buy two because I wanted to see how well the R4 Gold card could actually run compared to these two. And you know, it's also kind of nice to play on my actual 3DS instead of having this really bulky backing from the 3DS capture card. And my old 3DS is given away to my brother as well. So anyway, with that out of the way, I am planning on doing a comparison video between the R4i 3DS Gateway Blue card and R4i 3DS Gold. But today the main star of the show is actually the R4i 3DS Gold. So anyway, the R4i 3DS Gold, which is really fun to say, is basically a lot like the blue card. And I'll explain why a little bit later. But essentially, yeah, it's a lot like the Gateway Blue card, but it is capable of running with your modern system. Now, if you did buy this before firmware update 6.2, I think, 6.2 point something, but yeah. If you did buy that before then, your gold card, you will be having to do some modifications to it. And I'll leave a link in the description on a video that gives you a complete tutorial on how to do that, as well as the kernels that you need to download and the updates that you need to download. You'll also be requiring an a DS or DSi, and or even you can even do a 3DS that's, you know, not even updated, like at all. So, yeah, but because I bought this in 2016, yeah, all of those features were already made within the card, and it will work for any modern 3DS. So, even though this is just a regular 3DS, it works for 3DS XL, 2DS, and new 3DS and new 3DS XL. Whew, that's a mouthful. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set the camera down, and I'm going to go ahead and describe the packaging a little bit. So obviously it's not much for packaging, but that's okay because you're paying for the card, not for anything else. I got this from ndscard.com. Again, I'm not sponsored, but they really are the best place to get these cards because they have the best customer service I have ever witnessed in my entire life. And they also, you know, ship it within 1 day and 1 business day, and of course the rest is up to the mail. But overall, though, I have no problems with them. They are super friendly, and I recommend them for getting any kind of flash card that you need. Anyway, so yeah, it's not much. All that's in there is the card, a card, and this plastic thing. Oh yeah, and even the T-Flash. I got this because I got one for my brother, of course I had to test it. This is actually the one that came with my brother. The T-flashes actually do vary in quality. Mine was actually the better quality, so I gave it to my brother. But overall, though, it is a nice reader. It's better than my old SD card reader, which can't even read HD or SDHD cards, which is actually kind of sad. But these can. They can even go as far as HDXC or SDXC. But yeah, T-Flash card, pretty basic. Only runs micro SDs though. And now for the card itself, it basically gives you a list of functions that it does, and it even has a typo. I'm not sure if you can see that, but basically it's from this line right here. It says that it runs no NEOS. That's just a small typo. R4 is actually known for their typos, but you know, you can never go wrong with another R4 card. And then of course the R4 card itself, it doesn't come with a micro SD card, but you can ask for one. But I recommend getting one from a store because you know, you could be getting a very poor quality SD card. And yeah. So anyway, the R4i card, sorry, the R4i 3DS Gold card, it looks a lot like the R4i 3DS. This does have a slight gold tint to it, while this one is silver. And then looking at the back, you see that the pins are virtually identical. I mean, give or take, this one's a little bit more worn out, but yeah. And this one is actually a little bit more exposed, but that's just a minor detail. And then, of course, oops, everything else looks pretty much the same, except this one actually has a seal of quality authentication sticker compared to this one, which doesn't. But you know, you can tell that this is actually a legit card because, well, actually, I guess you really can unless you open it up. But overall, though, I know the NDS card does actually sell legit cards. So anyway, when you compare it to the Gateway, you can see that the cards are actually slightly different. And yeah, the cards are actually a little bit different. This one is actually thicker than this one, and that's actually going to be a very important point later on. Anyway, something else to note is that oops, the R4 team actually did actually stop making kernel updates for this card, or really for all their cards. So you will be having to run R4i 3DS Gold Wood, which is actually the same thing that the Gateway runs. So many people do believe that the Gateway is pretty much just an R4i card in disguise, but when you look at the pins in the back, as you can see, there's like some pointed pins up here, but these are completely straight, which makes me doubt about that. But they do both run on the same R4 wood kernels, so I guess that is the reason why. Back then, R4 did actually, you know, make kernels and update all that, but I'm guessing the firmwares were just too big of a hassle to keep updating for, so they were just like, forget it. R4 wood, you know, they're already making stuff for us, so we'll just go ahead and use their kernels instead. And you know, because they're a lot easier to maintain, and they pretty much solved all the problems that, you know, we would typically have. So anyway, yes, these now run on R4 wood. So that means if you want to run Moonshell, you will have to download it. You will have to download it from an outside source. So all that R4 wood does is actually just play the ROMs. You know, there's no extra stuff in it. As for the Wi-Fi engine, of course that doesn't work. But all that matters is that this thing works. Anyway, So now with that lengthy discussion out of the way, we're going to go ahead and grab my 3DS. And I just want to go ahead and show you that it is indeed updated to the latest firmware, and now I can finally turn off the light. Okay, so that's not a clear screen. Oops. I may actually need to take off the 3DS right there. Okay, now you can see it, I hope. So anyway, then I go to System Settings. As you can see here, this is the latest firmware at the moment, 11.2.35, and then we're going to go to update it right now. Oh, right. My bad. I normally turn off the Wi-Fi because it's useless for me. System is up to date. Press OK. So now for the R4i Gold card. Oops, I accidentally threw it. It just fits into the slot, obviously. And it'll play like some kind of random game. Every game is a little bit different. Like sometimes you get something from I forget what it's called. Sometimes it's Bomberman Touch. Basically, it just takes a header from an official Nintendo game, because most games, because if you don't know about the 3DS actually does whitelist a bunch of games that it'll be okay to run in. Now, of course, the 3DS development team actually did catch on to this, so that is why most modern flashcards don't work on it, but this one does. So it'll blink white twice. That's normal. It's just running its exploit. And there we go. So you can see here we got the game that I was currently playing not too long ago, and you can't see a darn thing even if I place it right there. But yeah, Pokemon White 2, Professor Layton, all that stuff, Techno Gens, all there, Legendary Starfy, my 100% file. And all your saves do actually carry over, because there are actually two different save files, or save types rather. And let's see if I got the correct save type. Yep. There's my character right there. Sporting the McDonald's hat. An ice cream cone look. And the game is 100% playable. Now, of course, you know, the R4 card, or not the R4 card, but the Gateway Blue card is also capable of, you know, playing the game, blah 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 blah. But the problem is that there is actually a little bit of lag when it comes to some of the stuff that you get. So I just wanted to see if the Gateway Blue, or if the R4 Gold card is actually 100% capable of handling. Sorry. I wanted to see if the Gateway Blue card was actually okay with I keep messing everything up. Okay. I wanted to see if the R4i3DS Gold cart was actually capable of removing some of the lag issues that I had with some of the other games. So, for an example here, if I were to leave here, the Gateway Blue card is actually lags a little bit in the song select mode. Now I'm gonna go ahead and scroll over to video game music because basically there is a little bit of an issue with copyright. So basically, as you can see here, the music does actually lag a little bit, but you don't actually see like the backgrounds lagging, which is actually kind of an issue with the Gateway Blue card. But it lags really bad in the R4i 3DS. But in the R4i 3DS Gold, you do see that it doesn't lag. But yeah, again, the song does actually slow a little bit, and but that's honestly okay because I am actually okay because the song takes less time to load. So that means there is less desync from the rhythm as well as the music, which is very important. Now, it does have a soft reset, but that's from the R4 Wood, of course. So anyway, now to play for a little bit more of a laggier game. Where is it? Here it is. Pokemon White 2. There goes the camera. I'm holding it upside down. So I'm gonna go to Lagbossa City, the laggiest place in the game. Which is kind of surprising because you would imagine that Castelia City would be the hardest place in the game, or the laggiest place in the game, but it's actually Nimbasa City. But, shoot. Man, I gotta get a better setup, I'm terribly sorry. I guess I do have a better setup with my old 3DS, with my 3DS capture card, but I just want to show off that it can work on official hardware. Or, not official hardware, but on newer hardware. So basically, this is Lag Bridge. This is actually the laggiest bridge in the entire game, and it runs fluently. I mean, they were able to cross it up and down without any lag at all. And, you know, overall, the flags aren't... Well, in the summertime, the flags actually move. Or is it winter? Is it fall? Well, basically, yeah, the flags move, and you know, there's fountains everywhere, and it gets really laggy from those. And I'm gonna go ahead and enter into a double battle. With the regular R4 3DS card, it does lag quite a bit whenever you enter into a double battle. About as bad as doing a double battle with the old 3DS playing Pokemon Sun. But, so yeah, if you do have an old 3DS and play Pokemon Sun or Moon and down the double battle, you know what I'm talking about. It's about that laggy. Anyway, so... yeah, now look how smooth this gameplay is. There's no frame drops at all. Even if I were to do any moves like roll out, for example. And then, this is actually a bad matchup here. Gotta switch to Ampharos. even with hail. There's no lag at all, which is great. Oh wait, no, that's a good thing. Okay, never mind. Oh, what? You had a walk-in berry? Oh, wow. Didn't actually see that coming. That was good. Oh, that's where I used hail. Okay, that's fine. See how fast that is? That's amazing. Wait, you have an Oshawott. Sorry, that caught me off guard. Anyway, let's see. Let's try to roll out again, and then Thunder Punch again on Oshawott. Okay, down goes Vanillish, and so Panpour is next. Oh crap, that's not good. Uh-oh, Ampharos should take him out. Alright, anyway, that's enough. So something to know is that you can actually edit any settings, any of the settings that you would, like in any R4 would be. So yeah, this menu should look familiar if you use the Gateway Blue card or really any R4 would setup here. So just so you guys know, this is actually a homebrew in a sense. And you know, since it does work on modern firmware updates, you can argue, hey, I can actually exploit my 3DS any way I want to now by using an NDS flashcard. I'm not sure if they have absolutely 100% patched that, but those are actually starting to become less and less popular. But you know, if you do find an NDS exploit that does actually require you to have a flashcard, then you can give it a try, but only at your own risk. I'm not responsible, nor is anyone else ever responsible for breaking your system. But yeah. Anyway, it should be obvious, but this does also, but the R4i Gold card also does work with, R4i Gold card also does work with 2DS, new 3DS, new 3DS XL, DS, or Fat DS, DS Lite, DSi, DSi XL, and I guess that's really all of them. So yeah, if you can run a DS game onto your any DS system, then you know you're able to run this. So you can even go back to the home menu. Oops, like any other DS game. No problems at all. It boots back up. Does take a little bit because it is a flash cart and it is technically running an exploit, but besides that, you know, it's not too difficult. Now for something that is a little bit of concern, but it's not too big of a deal though, and I'll be right back. Yeah, I should probably stop recording and start again. So basically, this is actually the biggest downfall of the R4i Gold cart. And this is pretty much the same thing for most R4 cards. So basically, when you eject it, you may notice that it gets kind of stuck. And you'll kind of need to, dig it out with your finger to get it out. Same thing happens with the old R4i3DS. But it's a little bit easier to get out. And the gateway, though, it doesn't seem to have that problem. Well, it does slightly. However, something that's interesting, and I forgot to grab it, is that with fat DS's and DS Lites, it actually does not have this issue. So if I were to insert this into the DS Lite, it fits in nicely and it ejects nicely. This is actually a little bit difficult, mainly because of that sticker though. And then this one has no problems at all. So anyway, that is the R4i3DS Gold card. And yeah, enjoy it.